My name is Xir-Van, rank 6 infantry, Hegemony Assault Corps, engineered, trained, and deployed like every other soldier in my batch, to follow orders, crush resistance, and never look back. I'd never spoken to a human before the New Brisbane campaign. Our intel called it a low-threat mining colony, barely armed, lightly defended, and irrelevant in the broader war. The perfect place to cleanse and claim. So we dropped at dawn. The sky was a soft amber. The settlement looked half asleep, the kind of place that smelled like rust, dust, and weak resolve. I was point, boots first, scanning rooftops and heat signatures, calling out unit formations like I'd done 100 times. That's when the ground tore open. Pressure mines. Improvised, smartly buried, synced to biosignals. Not enough to kill a full armored squad, but more than enough to break formation and sow panic. We didn't expect that. Then came the kinetic drones, repurposed mining bots with welding lasers and alloy drills, buzzing through smoke like angry insects. One clipped my leg, I dropped. Another dropped a thermal charge where our comms officer had just been standing. It wasn't a battle, it was a trap. I tried to crawl, dragging myself behind the husk of a collapsed mineral hauler. My HUD flickered between static and emergency protocols. My left arm was shattered, blood pooled in my boot. I'd lost audio. No backup, no response. I was dying alone on a rock I couldn't pronounce for a war I no longer cared about. Until I wasn't. The first face I saw through the haze was human. Female, mid-30s by their standards, ash in her hair, grease on her sleeves. She wasn't a soldier, not by posture or pace. She moved like a mechanic. A second figure joined her, older, bulkier, visibly armed but not aiming at me. He scanned my armor with a tired frown, then glanced at the woman. "He's still breathing?" "Barely," she said. "We can stabilize him, but I'm gonna need a clean injector in 2 hours. You really want to waste resources on this?" She paused. "I don't want to. I just can't leave something alive in a hole." And that's how I ended up being rescued by the people I came to conquer. I woke up in a converted maintenance bay. Not a cell, not a lab, just a room. Warm light, metal walls, filtered air. My leg was splinted, my wounds were treated. Even my armor had been stacked neatly nearby, cleaned of blood and debris. I waited for interrogation. I waited for cameras, scalpels, sedation. None came. A voice crackled from the intercom. "You're in Shelter 3, Northern Sector. If you need food, knock. If you want to leave, well, the door's unlocked." I didn't move for 2 days, but when I did, they were waiting. Not with weapons, with questions. The woman, whose name I later learned was Ari, asked me what I could still feel in my left arm. She wanted to make sure I wouldn't suffer nerve damage. Briggs, the old soldier, never asked anything. He just stood there, arms crossed, watching. "I don't understand," I told him once when I caught him outside the medbay. "Don't have to," he replied. "You were dying, we saved you. Doesn't mean we trust you, just means we're not monsters." Days passed. I watched them more than I spoke. The people of New Brisbane weren't trained soldiers. They were miners, mechanics, farmers, and builders. But they worked like a colony under siege, coordinated, precise, relentless. Children helped stack supplies. Elders reprogrammed cargo loaders to move shield generators. Ari rewired half the perimeter defense grid using scrap from a downed enemy drone. Mine, probably. And still, no one pointed a weapon at me. I wasn't a prisoner, but I wasn't family either. I sat alone, ate alone, slept in the corner of a reinforced bunker, like an abandoned dog that hadn't decided if it wanted to be loyal or not. Then one night, everything changed. A second Hegemony strike force came down 2 clicks south. They didn't know about me, didn't care. Their opening salvo cratered the farmland, wiped out a solar array, and forced every available body into defensive positions. Alarms blared, lights cut out. And in the chaos, I ran. Not away, but toward the central ridge. That's where I found Ari, trapped beneath a collapsed roof panel, blood seeping from her side. Her comms were down. Her leg was crushed. And she was alone. I didn't hesitate. I pried the metal off her with my uninjured arm, scooped her up, and sprinted half a click back to shelter. My own sutures tore. My knees gave out. But I got her there. The medics barely looked at me, they just worked. And when Briggs showed up later, gun slung across his back, breathing hard, he said nothing at first. Then he clapped me on the shoulder. Hard. You could have run. I didn't. Yeah, he muttered. You didn't. That night, for the first time, someone handed me a bowl and said, "Eat with us." So I did. Weeks passed. I never asked to stay. They never asked me to leave. Briggs started teaching me how to recalibrate their mining sensors, said my people had better eyes for mineral structure. Ari taught me how to patch power lines. The kid who once threw rocks at me started asking if I could read alien maps. I laughed the first time. It felt strange in my throat. One evening, Briggs handed me a small silver device. Emergency beacon, he said. Linked to our network. If you're ever in trouble, press it. We'll come. I stared at it. Even if I'm light years away? Especially then. 3 months later, I was on a cargo run with a recon unit stationed near the Regula Drift. Pirates hit us. Real pirates. Fast, brutal, smart. No uniforms, no hesitation. My squad scattered. I took a shrapnel hit to the shoulder, lost my weapon, hid in a vent shaft above the cargo hold, bleeding, alone, trapped. I pulled out the beacon, pressed it, then waited. 4 hours later, the pirates' comms went dead. An unmarked freighter dropped out of hyperspace, engines still hot, hull lined with mining lasers and kinetic cannons. New Brisbane. They hailed the pirate flagship. You're holding someone under our protection. You have 10 minutes to release him. The pirates laughed. 7 minutes later, one of their ships exploded. 3 minutes after that, Briggs walked into the cargo bay with that same old tired grin. Told you we'd come. I live in New Brisbane now. I work the mines, teach kids how to scan subsurface deposits, help repair old tech. They don't call me a refugee. They just call me Xir. And at night, I sit on the outer ridge, watching the stars shift above the dust storms, thinking about what it means to belong. I came here to conquer, but they gave me a name, a place, a home. They didn't save me because I earned it. They saved me because it's who they are, and that changes everything. Drop a like, hit that follow button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more awesome content.